Hi, we're going to look at how you can easily create a Christmas newsletter using Wolters Kluwer and Boma content in Boma. If you're not already familiar with Boma, Boma is the marketing platform built specifically for accountants and bookkeepers and business advisors. Within the platform, you can create emails, social media updates, you can host content online, create lead forms to capture email addresses for newsletters, events, promotions, or in return for a downloadable guide, and you can advertise. The thing that makes us different is the content, and you can see the most recent content here on the dashboard. Let's have a look. Boma's content library contains hundreds of articles, including content from Wolters Kluwer CCH. The articles are specific to your region and are updated weekly. They're written in your voice, but they're also fully customizable. This content allows you to bring real value to clients and leads by highlighting the issues that they may face and sharing insights that help them grow. So you can use the categories on the left-hand side here to help search for content, for example, tax. You can also search using a search term. Let's have a look at an article. You'll see that Boma has provided you with a high-quality image that you can use for your social post and also the header in your email. The social post is written for you, and you can see on the right-hand side that you can also share this via email and website. The long-form content here can be used for your blog or sent out as an email, and you can customize all of this when you send it. We'll go back into the content library and also look at our content partners. Let's go into Wolters Kluwer CCH. These articles are written specifically for your use and are designed to help you promote your advisory or business development services. So if you're sending something out at Christmas time, an article on the tax deductibility of entertainment expenses might be a useful article to include. Again, we can see the images provided for your social post. Your social post comment is written. And if we're including this in a newsletter, here's the content that we can use in our newsletter. This article also includes a downloadable guide. So within the guide, you'll be able to send this out so that your clients can see what is fully deductible, what is 50% deductible, and other information about GST, FBT, and items that aren't deductible. Let's look at another article in the library. This article is specifically around Christmas time. Wolters Kluwer have provided us two articles. This one is a very short form that simply gives examples of what's 50% deductible and what's fully deductible. There is a longer piece of content in the Boma library, and for a number of topics you will find various options that you can choose from. If I type in gifts, I'll find that longer piece of content, and this is obviously one that you can use throughout the year, and again has a downloadable guide. If we go back to look at all content, you'll see that Wolters Kluwer also provides some content that is free to use. The Wolters Kluwer Premium Library is accessible to anyone that has a business fitness subscription, or you can contact us about adding this onto your Boma subscription. In free-to-use content, there's a great article here for your clients who are employers, and it covers things to think about and making sure that they don't breach the Holidays Act. You'll see that the content also ends with a call to action, so this is going to encourage your clients to get back in touch with you so you can assist them. Final piece of content we're going to look at is a Happy Christmas piece of content. Could be sent just as a social post, and you could send it out as a longer form email as well. And this piece of content very helpfully also includes the key compliance dates for December, January to remind your clients before they head away. Let's start with this piece of content and use this to head up our newsletter. So simply click Deliver, and we're going to select Email. The title is only seen by you, but if, for example, you were sending this just to your employer clients, you could reflect that here. So step 1 is choose who you're sending it to. You can select those contacts manually here using the tick boxes, or you could deliver all or filter using tags. And save and close. You can see that the subject line is written for you and the preview description. The preview description and subject line are the first things your recipient will see, so you want to make sure that's really relevant to your email and motivates them to open it. As I've already said, Happy Christmas, I'm going to take that out, and then they can see that by opening it, they'll see their key compliance dates. Now we're going to select the template and put our email together. Let's select branded templates. And we've got an option of what the format will look like when we open it, and that content will be injected. Instead of sending the full article, I'm going to send a shorter format. I'm going to choose the intro plus hero so that I can build out my newsletter. Now that that's opened up, I can see the images there, which looks great at the top of my newsletter. I can see that first bit of text, and I could add a greeting. If I was sending this out as an email, I would probably write Dear, and from the merge tags, choose the first name so that I address each individual recipient. Because I'm going to later on show you how to share this newsletter via social, I don't want to put a personal greeting with an individual name. So I'm going to just add Season's Greetings. Now I know that that piece of content that we just looked at actually had compliance dates, so I'm going to say check your compliance dates rather than learn more, so that it's clear for my reader why they would click that button. Now let's add a little bit more content to our newsletter. Under the Rows tab, at the top you'll see a drop-down. By selecting the drop-down arrow, I can add more content from the content library. So I'm going to go back into the content library and select some of those articles that we looked at earlier. So I'm going to type entertainment, and I'm going to select the article that we looked at with the guide to tax deductibility. Now I have an option to choose how I'd like that to look, and simply select and drag and drop. This content has a guide on it, so let's change that button to say read the guide. Let's go back into Rows again and select another article. This time I want to select the content on gifts. Select and drag and drop. With each piece of content that you add, you can change the text, you can change the image, you can apply effects. In Boma, you have access to over 4 million images that are free to use in your social posts and email. Back in Rows again, let's select another article. So I've added the content for employers, and now my email is now looking like there's lots of really good information in there. For a final piece of content, I want to send something that's not business advisory or tax. Because it's Christmas time, you might want to send something like books to read over the Christmas holiday period or a Christmas recipe. I'm going to send a recipe. So I've chosen a recipe on another tab up here. I'll select and copy the URL back into Boma, and I'm going to add more content. And this time send a URL. Now this obviously could also be a blog post on your own website. Paste the URL and Boma will pull that first piece of text and the image for your newsletter. And then all you'd need to do is simply tweak the text so it makes sense. And then change this text to read the recipe. Now, you don't need to just inject content from Boma or from a URL. You can also add your own content. On the Content tab, I'm going to drag in a text box and then add my own content here. So obviously want to wish everyone a happy Christmas and then let people know when my office is closed over the Christmas period. When you're happy with your newsletter, you can preview here. You can also preview at the next stage. Let's click Save and Close. And preview at the Review and Edit Content phase. So here's what my content will look like. I can click on the links here, make sure that they all work, check that I'm happy. And if I want to change anything, I can simply go back into the editor and make those changes. The other thing I recommend you do is send a test email to yourself or someone in the office before you send that newsletter out. Now I'd like to send this newsletter also out to my social channels. You can see a button at the bottom that says Add Social Post. So I'm going to click on that and share my email. You will still get a chance to review and edit that social post. When I set up my Boma account, I also connected my LinkedIn Business, LinkedIn Personal, Twitter, and Facebook accounts, and you can see those here. And at this point, I might want to add a little bit more text here. Our office is closing, etc., etc., etc. I can then preview my social post and see that little bit of text I've added here. I can preview my tweet. And when someone clicks on the link in that post, they will go back to viewing my full newsletter. So when you're happy, click Schedule and choose a time for your campaign to go out. You can either send it now or schedule for a specific time.